All right, so we're live. Hi guys, it's Jack Allwood here. So today I'm having a quick chat with Jeffries. So he's a local agent up on the Sunshine Coast. I just wanted to have a chat and add some value to you guys other than listening to all the media, what's going on, some recent sales activity that he's got going on and what he's actually finding with buyers in the market at the moment due to the COVID period, etc. So yeah, this is Lucas.
Hey guys, how you going? Thanks for having me, Jack. I appreciate it, mate.
No worries, but yeah, I just thought, mate, with all this stuff going on at the moment, there's a lot of unsure buyers, what they should and shouldn't do, and etc. So I just thought it'd be good to have a chat with some local agents and what they're actually finding, because yeah, obviously the media gets around things, and then no one holds a crystal ball. So it's good to hear from people that are actually in the market and active and dealing with clients every day.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I know what you're talking about. I think there's not many other industries like the media industry that have such a widespread of reach that can invoke an emotion like fear so readily and so quickly amongst such a massive population. And I think you're absolutely right. What we've noticed is a little bit of consumer paralysis, if I can say that, buyer hesitation. So people in any period of uncertainty, we start to see our consumers go, okay, well, we're going to hold on here and we're just going to see what happens over the next 3 to 4 weeks. And that's probably what I've noticed more so in this 3 to 4 weeks since we've had restrictions, is that little bit of buyer hesitation, that little bit of consumer paralysis where people have gone, we just want to see what the next 3 to 4 weeks hold. But mate, in all honesty, like we're having a brief chat before, that's really only been in my entry level price points, not in my upper level price properties.
Yep. So more of your first homeowner activity, etc., on the coast is sort of slowed up a little bit, or your younger people coming into the market.
Yeah, correct. And it hasn't. We haven't seen we haven't seen a softening in terms of price points. What we've seen is buyers are, you've got these younger people who are entering the market for the first time, and it's a big decision. It's a massive point in their lives, and you throw that emotion in with everything that the media is putting out there about. Obviously, there's a lot of doom and gloom stories and whatnot, and you're having these young people just go, okay, well, we want to hold on, and it's meaning that rather than having, prior to now, it would probably have, 3 or 4 conversations with a buyer. Sorry, there's my 2 dogs making noise.
That's stay at home life at the moment.
You'd probably, hey girls, no, you'd probably have 3 or 4 conversations with a buyer to bring them to that point of being ready to purchase. Whereas nowadays you're going to have 7, 8, 9 conversations with those buyers before they're actually comfortable and ready to make a decision. And it's not meaning the prices are falling. It's just meaning the agents are having to work a little bit harder for their dollar, which is not a bad thing. It's weeding out the
it's probably the exact same thing at the moment. So dealing with them a lot more. You've got to put a lot of work into it, reassure the customer that it's a good deal, etc., and work step by step through with the client. So it's not slowing up a lot. I've still got a lot of first homeowner activity, which is great. And you can see as well from a lot of other agents, their bigger price points, and the people that have been through other crises like the GFC and stuff like that, it's their time that they're coming into the market as well, I'm finding, and snapping up a lot of the smaller stock as well. A few new builds and a lot of old stock as well that are at the smaller price points. They're not coming in buying the 1 or 2 properties. They're coming in buying 3 and 4 at a time. So it's those guys that have been through this time and they know. So it's good to have a chat with people like yourself and with clients about those buyers as well, that they've been through things like this and they know it's a perfect time to buy, to reassure the clients that it's a good step at the time. It's not just because of the COVID stuff and a market drop or whatever's the media is going. It's always a big step to get into your first home. So I guess it's our job to reassure that it's always a good purchase, and land and a property asset's always a good asset to have behind you. That's for sure.
Mate, 100%. And the reality is, good real estate is and will always be good real estate in any market.
Yeah.
So, if you look at some of the falls that people have had in the stock market over the past 3 weeks, and you know, touch wood, but never have I heard of or seen the kind of drops in a property market, any property market, that they've seen in the stock markets.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
So if you're looking at a safe place to put your money in, and disclaimer, I'm no financial advisor by any means, but I strongly believe that the property market is the safest investment. It's the safest place that you can put your money.
100%. Yeah, you can, as you said, you can look at those numbers through stats over the last 10 to 20 years, as well as there's no movement like the stock market. That's for sure.
Correct, mate. Correct.
So anyway, what's going up at your neck of the woods anyway on the Sunshine Coast? Sort of your movement on first homeowners. Obviously, what's going on with listings? Fill us on your activity. What do you find in the market over the last 3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, definitely, mate. So listings again, like buyers, a lot of the sellers that we've been talking to have decided that they want to just put things on hold for the time being, see what the next month, 2 months has in store for us. But I think this is a really good. Like, I was speaking to a property owner that has a little 4-bedroom home, really nice property on 400 square meters. It's probably worth somewhere in the high fives.
Yep.
And the reality is that if he was to come to the market now, we'd only have one other property that he'd be in competition with. So whilst people are hesitating and there aren't as many listings coming to the market, those who are actively putting their properties up for sale are in less competition, and it could actually lead to having a better result or having a larger buyer pool to deal with for that property.
Yep. Yeah, so we've got more of that supply and demand sort of thing. Yeah,
exactly right. Less supply. Demand in that lower price bracket, like we've said, has pulled back too. But I'm finding the lack of supply is outweighing that demand at the moment, or there's more demand for the properties that are on the market.
Yep. Okay. Nice. And so that's listings covered. And sort of, I see that you list quite a fair few nice properties on the water, etc. Definitely up over the $1 million mark. So what's going on that price point, active wise?
Yeah, definitely. I've actually noticed a increase in buyer activity for that price point, for our prestige price point on the southern end of the Sunshine Coast. I'll give you an example. I've got a house listed for sale at the moment that is right up in that top end, and we had over a 300% increase in inquiry between the first week of March and the first week of April than what we saw in February. So obviously that's the same period that all these heavier restrictions have been imposed, and the COVID-19 has become more of a popular topic to be talking about. So it's really promising to see that those prestige buyers, and these people aren't, they're not spending $1 million. These are the people that are spending, $3 to $4 million, are looking at the southern end of the Sunshine Coast as a potentially favourable place to invest that amount of money. So that prestige end is having is experiencing something completely different to what the entry level stock is at the moment. It's getting really strong inquiry.
Yeah, and do you think that comes from experienced buyers as well, with that sort of cash flow coming into the market? Obviously, you don't have too many 18 to 20-year-olds with that sort of money that are purchasing property. There's definitely a few out there, that's for sure. But do you think that's these people have already they're in the property market, they know what's going on, and they think it's not a bad time to be buying at the moment, etc., because they've been through times like this, so they're not too bothered about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can only speak for my micro market on the southern end of the coast, but there's so much infrastructure and so much spend happening at the moment with regards to where, like, you look at Pelican Waters, we're doing a new town centre and marina precinct that's going to have, residential, commercial. It's going to be, really nice. There's a lot of money going into that.
Yeah.
We've got the Maroochydore CBD development. We've had the airport upgrades, road upgrades. There's a lot of money being spent in the southern end of the Sunshine Coast. And I think those people who are obviously, they're financially savvy, they've gotten themselves to a position where they can spend that level of money on a property. They're looking at the infrastructure that's going into the southern end of the Sunshine Coast.
Yep, the growth going on.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So not only do they get lifestyle, they can buy a beautiful property, within a 5 minute drive, in some cases on the beach. And what are some of the best beaches in the world? I might be biased, but not only do they have that lifestyle element, but they've also got the comfort of knowing that there's infrastructure and there's development and there's things that are happening on a wider scale to bring people or bring population growth to an area, which obviously affects that supply and demand, and we'll see price growth from that as well.
Yep. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right, no worries. And so how's your next few weeks coming together, mate? You've got a fair bit of work on the go. There's a lot of activity. You've got contracts coming and going, etc. Or
Yeah, definitely. So I sold a block of land, a waterfront block of land in Maroochydore last week. I'm
nice.
hopefully looking at listing another $2 million property within the next 7 days or so. So that will be good to have that one on the books. But mate, it's steady. It's steady is probably the best word for it at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Well, yeah, we'll wrap it up there at the end of the day anyway. So, thanks for coming on, giving us a little bit of insight, what's going on up on the Sunshine Coast and, what's actually really going on at the end of the day from a real life agent, not just the media ramping up all the bad stuff, because bad news does travel a lot quicker than, good news, that's for sure. But, I think there's a lot of good news in the market at the moment. It's, just all covered up by the media. So I think buyers should be, very secured at the moment. You can tell by the numbers. There's still activity going on, so there's still movement, which is great. But all right, guys, hope you've got a little value from that. We will be bringing you a couple other agents around the place, so hopefully we'll be moving down the Gold Coast next week for a bit of a property dose update and what's going on down there. Then we'll go up to Rockhampton and Cairns as well. So stay tuned, and all the best. Thanks for that, Lucas. Cheers, mate.
Too easy, mate. Have a good day.